One was born to wear the crown. The other was built to break the system. LeBron James, the chosen one. Forged in Akron, a freight train with vision, purpose, and the weight of expectation. He didn't join the league, he took command of it. Carried franchises, chased ghosts, became the standard. Stephen Curry, the overlooked prodigy. Light frame, soft voice, deadly touch. Too small for the old NBA, perfect for the one he helped create. He didn't ask for the league to change. He forced it to, as he shattered the laws of basketball physics. This was never just a rivalry. This was a collision course between two titans, shaping the identity of a generation. LeBron bulldozed through eras. Steph tiptoed past them, dancing behind the arc. LeBron silenced arenas with dunks. Steph ignited them with threes. It wasn't just about rings. It was about who defined the era, who set the standard, who owned the moment when it mattered most. By the end, both had won. But only one had the game playing by his rules. Steph tiptoed past them, dancing behind the arc. LeBron silenced arenas with dunks. Steph ignited them with threes. It wasn't just about rings. It was about who defined the era, who set the standard, who owned the moment when it mattered most. By the end, both had won. But only one had the game playing by his rules. LeBron James had come home, not to celebrate, to build, to redeem, to conquer. The kid from Akron was back in Cleveland with a mission to deliver a ring to a city that had never touched one. On the other coast, Stephen Curry was rising, but still doubted. He didn't look like an MVP. He didn't lead like a traditional superstar. But the Warriors were 67-15, steamrolling teams, and Steph had just changed what was possible with a basketball in your hands. The 2015 finals weren't supposed to be a rivalry yet, but that's exactly what they became. LeBron opened the series like a man possessed. No Kyrie, no Kevin Love, just him. And still, 35.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, 8.8 assists a game, leading both teams in every major stat, carrying Cleveland on bruised legs and boiling expectations. Steph, he stayed poised, didn't flinch under the weight. He averaged 26 and hit the dagger in Game 5. He wasn't loud, but every time the Cavs made a run, Steph answered with silence. Just a flick of the wrist. But he didn't win Finals MVP. That went to Andre Iguodala for slowing LeBron down. And that's where the seed of debate was planted. If LeBron was the best player, why didn't he win? And if Steph led the best team, why didn't he own the stage? Golden State took the series in 6. Steph had his first ring. LeBron had his first scar in this war. The rivalry wasn't loud yet, but it was real. You had the player trying to prove he was still the king, and the one who had just kicked open the doors to the kingdom. This time, it felt cosmic. Golden State wasn't just great, they were mythic. A Het Van Harlem Kielink record. The best regular season in NBA history. Stephen Curry was more than an MVP now. He was unanimous, a cheat code in sneakers. Pull-up threes from 35 feet, left-handed floaters off glass, defenders spinning in confusion. He wasn't just winning, he was humiliating the old ways. LeBron watched all of it, patient, calculated, knowing. Because greatness doesn't always chase moments, it waits for them to ripen. The finals rematch was set, Warriors versus Cavs. Steph versus LeBron. This time, Cleveland had Kyrie. They had Kevin Love. No more excuses, no more sympathy. But after 4 games, the story was the same. Golden State was up 3-1. The dynasty seemed inevitable. Steph hit impossible shots. The shimmy was back. Draymond barked. Klay splashed. Then it broke. Game 5. Draymond suspended. LeBron smells blood. Drops 41. Game 6. Another 41. Game 7. History hangs by a thread. Final minutes, tie game. Andre Iguodala goes for the lead. LeBron chases him down. The block. Next possession. Kyrie dances. Steph switches. Step back. The shot. Then the closeout. The stop. Kevin Love holds Steph in place. Unthinkable. Unbelievable. Cleveland wins its first championship in 52 years. LeBron collapses on the floor. Tears and glory. Cleveland, this is for you. And just like that, the rivalry flips. Steph had the MVPs, but LeBron had the ring that mattered. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a recalibration of status. LeBron had climbed the impossible mountain. Steph had to swallow the taste of being human again. And behind the scenes, Golden State wasn't done. They were about to add a nuclear weapon to this war. Losing 3-1 didn't break the Warriors, it evolved them. One call, one pitch, one move, and the NBA shifted forever. Kevin Durant joined Golden State, a 4-time scoring champ, a former MVP, a 7-foot sniper. Suddenly, the team that had just won 73 games had more firepower than anyone had ever seen. Steph Clay, Draymond, KD. It felt unfair. It felt inevitable. But LeBron didn't flinch. Coming off one of the greatest finals performances ever, he entered 2017 sharper, stronger, and more motivated than ever. He averaged 26.4 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 8.7 assists that season, coasting through the East like gravity wasn't real. But even he knew, this time, it wasn't just Steph he had to stop. The finals opened like a coronation. Golden State blitzed Cleveland in games 1 and 2. KD was everywhere, blocking shots, hitting threes, running the break. LeBron, he responded with the first triple-double average in NBA Finals history, 33.6 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Unstoppable, but outnumbered. Steph was rejuvenated too, no longer the sole target of LeBron's defense. He danced freely, dropping 26.8 points and 9.4 assists a game, torching Cleveland from deep and slicing up switches. But KD was the final boss. In Game 3, with the Cavs up late, Durant hit a cold-blooded three right in LeBron's face. Game. Series. Statement. Golden State won in 5. Steph had his redemption. LeBron had his reality check. And the rivalry? It started to blur, because now the question wasn't just LeBron versus Steph. It was LeBron versus the machine. And the machine was built on Steph's style, but powered by KD's presence. Still, LeBron never pointed fingers. No excuses. Just greatness in a losing cause. Because even surrounded by stars, Steph was still the system, the spacing, the tempo, the chaos. And LeBron, he was still the measure of resistance. By now, it didn't feel like rivalry. It felt like inevitability. The Cavs limped into the 2018 finals. No Kyrie, a gutted roster. LeBron surrounded by spare parts. Still, he dragged them there. Again. 51 wins, another playoff masterclass, buzzer beaters, game winners, 7-game wars. Steph, fresh, surgical, surrounded. The Warriors coasted through the West. No stress, no struggle, just business. Game 1 was supposed to be Golden State's statement. But LeBron flipped the script. 51 points, a masterpiece of power and precision. He bullied switches, walked into jumpers, threaded passes between limbs. And then, J.R. Smith happened. The clock, the rebound, the confusion. LeBron's face said everything. Disbelief, frustration. The game slipped. The series did too. The next 3 games weren't close. Steph exploded in Game 2, 9 threes, a finals record. He danced, pointed, and ran back before the ball even dropped. LeBron, still unstoppable, 34 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds per game. But this time it wasn't enough. His hand was broken, his will wasn't. But even gods have limits. The Warriors swept Cleveland, back-to-back titles. KD won Finals MVP again. But Steph, he had his empire. He had silenced every doubt. LeBron walked off the floor alone. No handshake, no farewell. Just a man who had given everything and still came up short. Days later, he left for LAA, new chapter, a new mission. But something lingered. Because through every win, every loss, every handshake and stare down, this rivalry never lost its tension. Steph changed the way the game is played. LeBron changed the way greatness is measured. And together, they gave us the defining duel of a generation. LeBron and Steph will never be the same kind of great. And that's exactly why their rivalry defined an era. LeBron is weight of history, of expectation, of carrying teams across continents of doubt. He's the blueprint, the prototype, the player you build around when winning is non-negotiable. Steph is gravity, unseen, inescapable, bending the court around his presence. He's the glitch in the simulation, the icon who made skill louder than strength. LeBron gave us the chase down, the message, the promise fulfilled. Steph gave us the shimmy, the splash, the revolution televised. Off the court, they built empires their own way. LeBron, Hollywood producer, political voice, billionaire brand. Steph, tech investor, family man, cultural disruptor with a quiet smile and loud results. They didn't just change basketball, they split it into eras. Before Steph, no one pulled from 30 like it was a layup. Before LeBron, no one wore expectations this heavy and still delivered. And through 4 finals, 2 MVP reigns, and a decade of dominance, they kept forcing each other to evolve. Not out of hatred, out of greatness. Because when Steph raised the bar, LeBron didn't flinch. And when LeBron held the crown, Steph kept reaching. This wasn't just a rivalry, it was a mirror. One reflecting what the other was not, yet each pushing the other to be more. And years from now, when the records settle and the noise fades, we'll remember how they met in June, year after year, and made the world stop to witness greatness on 2 entirely different terms. If you felt this story, if you see greatness in its many forms, like and subscribe. Because legacies are built shot by shot, moment by moment, just like this one.